Episode 14, Jonbenet Case. Thoughts about the timeline in the last episode. Now I'm going to evaluate a few things that stuck out while I made the last video. And basically, all the things that happened before the Ramseys went to bed seem to fit. There's nothing that sticks out as illogical. My first thought is how quickly they decided to call 911. It seems like John should have looked around for Jonbenet. She could have been dying somewhere, outside in the front yard, in the back alley, or in the basement. It's like he knew there was no need to look for her. Furthermore, John and Patsy should have asked Burke if he heard or saw anything. They didn't even wake him up. One of them could have called, and the other could have looked around for Jonbenet. My second thought about the timeline. The time John had to get dressed. The time between the 911 call and John Ramsey meeting the policeman at the front door. To me, there doesn't seem to be enough time for John to be sitting on the floor reading the 3-page note in his underwear, and then, after Patsy called both sets of friends, he was able to get up, go up 2 flights of stairs, put on his pants, belt, shirt, socks, and shoes, and then come down 2 flights of stairs and meet the policeman at the front door, all in about, I would estimate, less than 4 minutes. I don't think there's enough time to do that. My third thought. Everybody seems to check the basement immediately, but John. Officer Rick French said he went down into the basement, looking for entryways into the house. And he almost opened the wine cellar door. Shortly thereafter entering the Ramsey house, Fleet White looked in the basement. He stated that the lights were on and the door leading into the boiler room was open. He said that he had opened the wine cellar door, the room was dark, he could not find the light switch, and he closed the door. Then he went to the train room and noticed the broken window, the suitcase underneath the window, and a piece of broken glass. John Ramsey does not go and check the basement that morning, even when the police officer is there. Everybody else, the first thing that they do is, hey, let me go check your basement. Maybe Jonbenet is down there. Let me check everywhere down there but the wine cellar. But John, he never goes down there and checks the basement until after all the police left, after the 10 o'clock time. Then he might have went down there. And then the only time he goes down there is 1 p.m. and discovers her body down there. My fourth and final observation. John stated he went into the basement that morning during his police interview several months later. The problem with his testimony is he never really had a free moment that morning. Patsy screamed for him, he went downstairs, they did the 911 call, he went upstairs and got dressed. He came back down, met the policeman. The policeman sent him to the sunroom. Then Detective Arndt came in and coached him on how to handle the ransom call. He called his pilot. He called to get the ransom money. He never really had a free moment to do anything until after the 10 o'clock deadline came about. And most of the police left. That's when he might have went to the basement. But that, I think, conflicts with something else that he said. So what it means is he went to the basement before the 9/11 call. In conclusion, the police had a little bit of suspicion because John said that he immediately found Jonbenet before he turned on the light. And it's very dark in that wine cellar. And so there's a question as how anybody could see in there. Especially because Fleet White said he looked in there and couldn't see anything. There's a few other points, but I'm going to stop recording. Well, this ends this episode, and on the next episode, I'm either going to look at Fleet White or eliminating the possibility of an intruder through the clues.